Would be nice if I stuck myself in here. Hi. We're gonna make brisket. Whoa. Hold on, I'm getting it out. Okay. Oofa. We're making brisket. I put on my Facebook page, said I was making brisket for dinner, and did you guys want me to film it or let it go? And I got a lot of responses to film the motherfucker. So I'm filming. There's a number of different ways to make brisket. You know, most familiar way is probably the, you know, barbecue and smoked way to do brisket. Well, I live in an apartment in New York City. Can't do it that way. So, I'm gonna make it my traditional way, which is to braise it. And that is the traditional Italian way. We braise shit a lot. So, I'm going to show you how to do that. This is, let me see how many pounds this is. It says 4 to 5 pound brisket. I don't know how many pounds it actually is. It looks like it's about 5 pounds. It's a pretty big guy. So I've got him. And first thing we're gonna do is we are going to sear the motherfucker, all right? The biggest reason, I'm sorry, I'm burping at you because I just had soda. Beauty of being a bariatric patient. We are searing meat because when you braise stuff, and braising basically means, hold on, I don't know if the camera angle's okay. Let me just fix it a little bit. Okay, I think I'm good now. All right, so when you braise stuff, it basically means that you're going to be cooking it in a liquid, okay? You're not going to be boiling it per se, but you're going to be cooking it in a liquid, and it's going to have a lot of time to sit in there, okay? But you have to give the meat an opportunity to cook rather than boil. If you're going to boil the meat, it's going to be nasty. Like, totally fucking nasty. Alright? So you don't want to do that. So, first thing you do is you're going to pat the meat dry. And I got this from the butcher. Brisket, in general, is kind of hard to find. Because it's just not a commonly used piece of meat. So, I don't know if you're going to need to order it from a butcher or if you're going to need to order it from a supermarket, but, you know, just letting you know. So, we're going to need to sear this motherfucker. So, I pat it dry. This is a Le Creuset, or Le Creuset, if we want to get all Frenchy poo on it. It is a heavy fucking duty cast iron pan. It's very thick. Thick meaning this way thick. And, oh, fuck. Alright, it's on. We're going to put it on medium high and get it nice and hot. Okay? We got to get the heat up. Cast iron takes a while to get hot. It's not like a stainless steel pan or, you know, something different. It takes a little bit of time, so give it some time. While you're doing that, you're going to take some salt. I use sea salt or kosher salt. And you're going to salt this bad boy pretty good. Okay? You're also going to pepper it when you're done salting him. We're going to keep the seasoning on it for the sake of searing him pretty simplistic, because all the seasoning is going to go into the braising. So don't worry about seasoning the piece of meat. If you go crazy on seasoning him right now, it's going to be relatively pointless because it's all going to come off in the liquid that we're gonna stick in the pan, it's all gonna get washed off. So you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your seasoning. There's no freaking point, okay? So we're gonna flip him. Woo. And season this side too. And again, you wanna go heavy on the salt. Justin and his daughter are coming over for dinner. The son is still in Wildwood with the grandparents on the Jersey Shore. So I'm just having the two of them over. This is a very large brisket for 3 people. Robbie might come over, which is going to rock. So I can have some for him too, which is going to be awesome. But I'll send everybody home with leftovers. You never cooked enough unless everybody's got enough to go home with leftovers. Rule. Absolute fucking rule. So, stick your hands in there. Don't touch the bottom, but stick it in there. If you got some heat coming off it, you might be good. Alright? I feel a little bit of heat. Olive oil. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright? Give the olive oil a chance to get hot. Give it an opportunity to get hot. Now, even the handles on this frickin' pot are cast iron. So you need pot holders. Okay? The whole goddamn pot gets hot. When you start seeing like a little ripple effect in the olive oil, that means it's getting hot. That's good. Okay, that's real good. You want to make sure it gets really hot. Yeah, it's rippling. We're doing good. Give it a couple more seconds, and then we're going to throw the meat on top. And it's going to get noisy. You want noisy. Okay? Let me check one more time for ripples. Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, meat's going on. Alright, here we go. And he's going in. Oh yeah. Awesome. So, let me turn it, woo, hot. So, my clock on the microwave says it's 310. This is about a 5-pounder brisket. I'm going to watch the clock, and I will tell you how long it takes to sear each side, okay? And I will be back. So I timed how many minutes each side was on the brisket. I gave it 6 minutes exactly on each side. I'm going to take it out in a couple seconds. But let me just show you what searing looks like on this, okay? That, if you can see, you see how it's like crusty and like, I don't want to use this word, but I can't think of a better one. It almost looks like scabbed over. That's what searing is, okay? You don't want to cook it until it's done. All you want to do is just get that brown crust on it, okay? So hold on a second. I got to move the camera and take it out. Hold on. Okay. All right, good. This is going to be hard because it's 5 pounds with one hand. And, shit. Alright. You see how pretty that looks? That's perfect. Okay, now, just put it on a plate and move it off. And I have it off right now, okay? So, all it's got is just like a crust on it, basically. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. So all it's got is just like a crust on it, basically. That's all it's got. I've got plenty of olive oil and the fat from the brisket. So I'm going to turn it back on again. In here, I have 1 large and 1 medium Vidalia onion. Okay? I just diced it pretty small pieces, and that's going in. You want to onion the fuck out of this thing. A lot of onion. Okay? Now that we've got it in, you want to do about 2 tablespoons of salt. Okay? A lot of salt in this, because you want to sweat it out. And pepper. Whole lot of black pepper. You're good. Okay? Now I'll use tongs. Alright. Now you want to move it around. Get everybody in the oil. Everybody salted. And you can put this is like on medium right now. So we're just going to cook this until the onions go relatively translucent, which is going to bring out the sugar in the onions. Vidalia onions have a lot of sugar. They're very sweet compared to the other onion classes. You know, like white onions. They're even sweeter than Spanish onions, red onions. So we're going to cook these down by sweating them out. Sugar's going to come out, and it's going to change the flavor of the onions. And they're going to start to caramelize a little bit when you keep them in there. And it's going to go better with the fat and the meat. It's going to help tenderize the meat, the sugar, okay, without adding actual sugar. We're going to be using onion sugar, so it's different, okay? So we're going to leave this alone, cook it down, and when it becomes translucent, I'm going to come back to it and throw some garlic in it and some spices and some other shiznit in it. So I'm going to turn you off, and I'll be back. Onions have cooked where the liquid in the pan or pot, whatever, is starting to almost completely diminish. So it is time to move on. I'm going to garlic this motherfucker. Alright, pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about 12 cloves of garlic. Okay? Alright. On top of that, I've got an incredibly robust red wine. Okay? That was about 2.5 cups of red wine. Okay? You want to put the wine in first because we are going to cook the wine down a little bit. You don't want to cook with raw wine. Raw wine has a very different taste than cooked wine. Cooked wine is more pungent because you get a chance to cook it down and diminish it and reduce it. Okay, so when you reduce it, it diminishes. Also, the acidity goes up in the wine, so it's stronger and it does more to the meat. It can tenderize it harder, okay, because the acidity is higher, it's raised. Like a pH scale, it's raised when you cook it, okay? So I threw in the wine, and because there's more liquid in here, I'm going to raise the temp a little bit, because I can now, and not burn something, okay? I've got some dry rosemary. You can use fresh if you want to. If you use fresh, I would say use like 3 sprigs. So I've got dry. I'm probably only going to use like maybe a teaspoon and a half-ish. Bay leaves, necessity, okay? Bay leaves, I don't even know what the hell bay leaves taste like, to be honest with you. I just know that every single time I add bay leaves to shit, it changes the flavor. 3 bay leaves, by the way. Every single time I add bay leaves to shit, it changes the flavor from like homemade stuff to like restaurant stuff. I don't understand why for the life of me. I just know it does it. So I add bay leaves to stuff a lot. It just does something magical. So I just started using bay leaves a lot more often when I figured that one out. Yeah, so it was like, whoa, this is great. I'm doing this more often. So I've got the wine boiling. Okay, so it's getting cooked. Next ingredient I'm going to add in there, these are Del Monte stewed tomatoes. These come, let me just show you the can real quick. Let me make sure it goes on camera. Boop. There we go. Okay, these come in like a plain flavor, and they come in this one. I use the Italian recipe just because it has more spices in it. This one has basil, garlic, and oregano. The plain recipe is, I think, just celery, salt and pepper, and carrot, I think. And this one has celery, salt, pepper, carrot, basil, oregano, and garlic. Okay, so this one's just got a little bit more in it. So I go for the Italian. You know, but which one you choose is really up to you. All right, the wine is doing a nice bubble in here, and it really smells good. It smells fantastic. It is starting to reduce. It's starting to get a little thick. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. I don't want to rush it. I'm going to open up this other one. Okay. I've also got on here beef broth. Okay. You can use reduced sodium or you can use regular. If you use reduced sodium, be prepared to add more salt if necessary. If you do regular and not reduced sodium, you will probably not need more salt. Okay. Just letting you know. So, you know, pay attention to the salt content and season accordingly. Also, put your oven on. Okay, now's the time to turn the oven on. 325. All right, because this Dutch oven is going in the oven. Okay. Yeah, we're reducing really nice. This is reducing really nice. It's getting really pungent. The smell is really getting strong. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to do 1 can of stewed tomatoes in. Okay. And just do a quick mix. Just get it all around. Okay. That looks freaking awesome. This is just a big pot full of onions and wine and a couple tomatoes floating in it. This is just freaking awesome. Alright, I've got the other can of stewed tomatoes right there. Okay, we're going to put that on last. Mr. Brisket gets shoved in, put his pea on top, alright? Alright, Now, you shoved them in, but you're going to do a wiggle. Alright? You want to try to get them down. Okay, wiggle them in there. Good. And make sure the bay leaves are submerged. Okay? Good. Now, last can of stewed tomatoes goes on top of the brisket. Okay? Alright. Just because you want some wetness on top. Okay. And I still have the stove on right now. Okay, the stove is still going. It's still cooking. Even though I've got a huge chunk of meat in a pot, it's still cooking. Alright, and I've got beef stock over here. I am going to throw some beef stock in there. Whether or not you need beef stock is going to be dependent on how submerged it is. That's pretty good. I maybe used a half to 3/4 of a cup. Okay, I really didn't use that much. Now you just want to kind of get on the sides of the brisket and do a little bit of a mix to make sure your onions are floating all over the place. You got your seasonings floating all over the place. Alright, let me show you what it looks like. Okay, that's what the big guy looks like. So, whoop, don't need you to look at my cleavage. So, I'm going to shut him off. He's off. I'm popping the lid on him right this second. He's going right in the oven. It is 340. I am not going to look at him again until about 5:45. When I look at him at 5:45 in 2 hours from now, all I'm going to do is try to pick it up, flip him, and he's going back in the oven for another 2 hours. This sucker takes 4 hours to cook. 4 hours, maybe even longer. Okay? This is a lengthy dish. Remember when I was making sauce and I told you Italian food cannot be rushed? We're fucking annoying. We are fucking annoying. This sucker's going to take 4 to 5 hours to cook. Alright? So, he's getting popped in the oven. I'm not looking at him again for 2 hours. I'm going to try to flip him as much as I can to make sure the top part gets just as well submerged. And then I'll look at him again 2 hours after that. And if he needs an extra hour, he needs an extra hour, okay? So that's how you make brisket. In 4-ish, 5-ish hours, if nobody's home, I got Justin and his daughter coming over, and hopefully Robbie. If they're not here, I'll show you what the final project is, and you'll get to see it. I'm going to make mashed potatoes with it and broccolini. So I'll show you everything, okay? I love you guys. I hope you try this, because it's really not hard. It's just time consuming. So I hope you give it a go. I love you guys. Bye. So the brisket is done. Let me shut off the thing. Okay. The brisket's done. I'll show you what it looks like. Oh wait, it was on the whole goddamn time. I'm stupid. Alright, so the brisket's done. And it is full aparty. You gotta cut it against the grain. And it just shreds. This is what the, I guess you could call it gravy, looks like. I threw a little bit of Wonder in it, and it thickens it. It turns the fat residue that's left on top into a really thick gravy. And it's ridiculously delicious. It's insane. And I got mashed potatoes, and I got broccolini back there. So, I'm fucking starving. I'm gonna eat it now. I hope you try it.